especially a young leader in this republic, that I should stand with the young people, especially in reforms of sports sector. Poor performance at the World Championships in Budapest and the mishandling of athletes by Athletics Kenya and Ministry of Sports, Youth and Culture. In the past few days, we have witnessed our team participate in World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. And from the onset, I wish to congratulate our heroes and heroines for being great patriots and flying our flag high in several events. And it is important to note that almost the entire gold was won by women, and therefore there is power in women. I wish to single out the superb performance of Faith Kipyegon, the legendary, who has proved to be the greatest runner of all times in 1500 meters and 5,000 meters, where she became the first woman in the world to win gold in both races at the same event. I wish to congratulate Mary Moraa for bagging gold in 800 meters, becoming the third woman after the previous two. Though we managed to come top in Africa and 50 in the world, it is in the heart of Kenyans that this year's World Championships was poorly performed compared to the performance of previous engagements. We witnessed obvious errors and dismal performance in the same track and field events, whereby, for example, we lost in one of our traditional track event of 3,000 meters triple chase, a title that has taken pride since 1968. From 1968, we have never lost on 3,000 meters triple chase until the other day. For this, we are calling on the technical team to be responsible for the errors that costed our team medals, in which it seems like their preparation was stuck in old tactics, thus failing to match the current tactics and way of competition that is ever evolving, and therefore change is inevitable in the technical management of our athletes. We have also been concerned on the kind of reception that our athletes are subjected to when they land back. Yesterday, several athletes, including the 2 gold winners, jetted back to the country, but the kind of reception being accorded to them is still wanting, since even the cabinet secretary himself did not show up to receive. And it's good to note that the arrival of Faith and the other team member was at night, and we know our CS of Sports is active more at night, as you consider a number of events he attends. This type of welcoming of athletes reflects the general poor management and lack of motivation being accorded to the team. I therefore wish to call upon the Ministry of Sports, Athletics Kenya, and National Olympics Committee to explain the following to Kenyans. 1, what really happened to our team management and if there were any prior arrangements for athletes' receptions in Nairobi. Number 2, expound, and I saw Nok trying to explain some things a few weeks ago. Number 2, expound on the reward scheme system and stipends given to winners for various categories. For example, in Uganda, you can see President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Uganda government is giving at least a house, a car, and if you are not married, you are either given a wife or a husband. Why has the ministry reviewed the daily allowance from the previously agreed USD $300 to $60 per day? This was a 57-member team. If you calculate 240 USD, it comes to around 27.7 million Kenyan shillings that cannot be accounted. Number 4, explain the selection process of athletes and officials who went to represent Kenya in Budapest. Explain why some athletes who qualified during selection did not travel, yet they were replaced, and what criteria was used for replacement. Explain why our athletes are flying on the economy class while management and officials are using business class and first class, including joy riders. For example, I talked to the manager of Faith, and on all occasions when Kenya is competing, and even Eliud Kipchoge, their coach and management are forced to pay for their ticket of business or first class to ensure they get a leg room and ensure they are in good shape to avoid what we call jet lag. Number 4, provide the full details of contracts signed between the Ministry of Sports, Athletics Kenya, and Nike. And Makiu, the Minister of Sports, on several occasions, and I want you to examine those photos he takes. he normally wears shoes of Adidas. Yet we have a contract of Nike. And the contract between Athletics Kenya and Olympic Committee of Kenya. Number 4, expound on the training kits and grants donated by various international partners to Athletics Kenya and how it was distributed to various training levels in Kenya and the teams traveling for various competitions. And I want to urge DCI to visit some of the homes of these senior athletics officials and ministry officials. They have stuck a lot of donated kits in their homes, in their bathrooms, yet they should be given to the children, the young, the academic. You saw the coming of the end of sports for the secondary schools. There are many donations that are given for training of young people, but some of the senior ministry officials and Athletics Kenya officials are hiding those donated kits from many organizations that support the sports in this country. I also wish to propose the following done as part of the reforms in the management of Athletics Kenya. 1, delocalize athlete services like issuance of clearance letters and visas to towns near the training camps to avoid athletes camping in Nairobi for days waiting to be served. For example, in where we come from, Nandi, we should have issuance, they should be issuing traveling letters for them to participate in international sports, in Kapsabet, in Eldoret, in Iten, in Meru, in Kisii, so that the athletes don't need to travel to Nairobi to look up for the clearance letters. And also issue a passport. We need the issue. You can see what is happening at the headquarters here in Nyayo. Our athletes are forced to stay 2 weeks, yet they are supposed to prepare for the competition. Yet they come and stay here at the Nyayo house waiting for the number of passports. And you have heard the Minister of Interior has declared Nyayo house as a crime scene. I hope those issues will be resolved as soon as possible. Athletics Kenya and other federations, and I heard the minister, and you know it's good to be fair. I heard the minister saying the government cannot interfere with federations. But then why are we funding these federations? Why are they using our money? If they cannot be oversighted, these federations, including Athletics Kenya, football, among other federations, then we should stop funding them. Because why are we using taxpayers' money to fund them? And therefore, athletics and other federations should hold elections after every major event. Athletics Kenya and other federations should hold elections after every major event, such as the World Championship like NOC for the next Olympic cycle. It is sad that some of the federations are having leaders in those federations that have stayed longer than Mugabe. There are Mugabes in these federations that must be shown door because they are still using old tactics to run in the modern world. Number 4, and finally, an overall replacement to be done to the technical committee to enable the team to adjust and adopt the new techniques, thus being able to compete with a new breed of competitors. What I want to say in conclusion to the Ministry of Sports and the Minister, that you don't need to hire bloggers to insult some of us in social media. What you need to do is to fix sports. Sports is sick. Sports is ailing this country. And you are aware, and you, my brothers and sisters who are here, most young people are dependently on sports. From North Rift and from Nandi County, where I come from, if you kill sports, you have killed us. Most of the economies of North Rift survives only on the issue of sports. And therefore, even in Iten, in Eldoret, in Nandi, we have even what we call sports tourism, where we have people like Mo Farah who come to North Rift and see and train because of the high altitude. And therefore, this is not a small matter. I can see some people trivializing and putting it on social and insulting. This is beyond, and I want to ask the Minister and the Ministry of Sports to stop unnecessary side shows of insults in social media and concentrate on fixing sports once and for all. And you know the President is very clear. If there is any corruption in the ministry, especially on this payment of allowances to athletes, and it is very sad because I have talked to a number of athletes and to protect their identities because of avoid victimization, that they were promised $300 per day, but they were ended up being paid $60. And this was a 57-team member that went to Budapest, Hungary. I want to appeal, if there are any corruption within the sports ministry, the minister and the ministry must sit down and address those challenges. If they are facing any challenges as a parliament, and I want to insist this, they should bring any legislative and policy intervention to parliament to assist the growth of sports in this country. And they should listen to the message of the president. The president has said there are only three things. Either you go to the jail, you go to heaven, or you leave this country. There is no option about that. And therefore, as a member and a senator of the great people of Nandi, where we pride ourselves with the people like Eliud Kipchoge and the athletes of this world, we shall not relent fighting for justice to ensure athletes are treated with respect. They are rewarded. For example, Faith in gold, I'm told the exchange rate is 145 a dollar. I'm told it is around 10 million. Why would the government come and, if Faith has won 10 million for gold, the government should come and reward Faith again with 10 million? Why would KRA want to come and tax winnings that have been won? Yet Faith and others are branded Kenya. They are the brand ambassadors of this country. Why would you tax an athlete who is running somewhere in Budapest? People know Kenya only because when you travel across the world, when you tell people I'm coming from Kenya, they tell you you do like this. So I really want to appeal that the issue of sports, and I'm not saying only about athletics, even football, even volleyball, even netball, there is no problem with content creators. I have seen people trying to mislead the country. I don't have a problem with content creators. I don't have a problem with people who use TikTok. Personally, I'm on TikTok. But I don't see beyond midnight because things that are shown beyond midnight, God only and the God will forgive us. But the point I'm trying to say, the content creators is okay, but we must fix the traditional sports once and for all, where athletics, football, netball, rugby, among others, should be looked into for the benefit of the young people in this country. And most of these young people who are in sports are hustlers, and we must protect them at all costs. With those very, very remarks, finally, I have filed these questions also with the clerk of the Senate, say that when the Minister of Sports appears, I would request that I file 100 questions before the clerk. I hope I'll be given around 4 to 8 sittings to be able to grill and question the CS of Sports. Although he has written a letter to me wanting to appear to come and answer, he should be aware of parliamentary procedures. Parliament cannot be directed. He should wait for him to be invited, then he can answer those questions. So I wish to rest there and say thank you for coming to this brief presser. Let us continue supporting our sportsmen and women. Let us continue welcoming them. This country has a huge potential. Let us protect our sports. Our sports is the source of pride of Kenya, here locally, globally, and across.